Mortgage rates climbed to about 6.5% this spring, and the reason had almost nothing to do with Dallas. It was oil. A war in the Middle East pushed crude past $119 a barrel. That fed inflation, and inflation dragged your rate up with it. This Friday, a U.S. and Iran peace deal is set to be signed, and may have already been signed by the time this video goes live. Oil has already fallen almost $40 a barrel, and that whole chain is now running in reverse. So, here's what that means for you, your payment, and why getting ready now beats waiting for the perfect interest rate.
Oil ran up that high for one specific reason, and it wasn't the fighting itself. It was a narrow waterway called the Strait of Hormuz, where a huge share of the world's oil passes through every single day. People worried the conflict would choke it off, and that one fear is what sent crude toward $119 a barrel. When peace starts to look real and the strait opens back up, that fear fades and the oil price follows it right back down. And this is already happening. It's not just a theory. Oil's now sitting around $79 a barrel, near its lowest point in 3 months. Cheaper oil means cheaper gas, and cheaper gas cools the very inflation that pushed your rate all the way up this spring.
The inflation this year wasn't anything to laugh at. Actually, by April, prices were up 3.8% from a year earlier at the fastest pace in about 3 years, and mortgage rates climbed right alongside of it. So today, the 30-year fix, the most common home loan out there, sits around 6.5%. That means once you borrow, your rate is locked in now for the full 30 years. Now, mortgage rates don't track oil directly, but they track something called the 10-year Treasury yield, which is basically the interest rate the government pays when you lend money. Home loan rates ride up and down alongside that 10-year number, and that's the lever the whole chain pulls on.
All right, so follow the chain all the way through, because this is the part that matters. Peace eases the oil fear. That brings oil and gas down. Cheaper energy cools inflation. Cooler inflation lets that 10-year yield settle, and a settling yield takes pressure off your mortgage rate. The market started moving the day the news broke, with oil down over $4 in a single session and rates ticking lower in the same stretch. This is live this week as we sit here recording it. And it shows up in real dollars because on a $400,000 loan, even a small move in that rate is a difference between a payment you're comfortable with and one that keeps you from buying.
Okay, so now I gotta slow us down a little bit because a peace deal doesn't flip a switch and drop your rates overnight. And anyone who tells you it is overselling it, okay? Markets move on expectation, which means a lot of this good news may already be partially priced in before the ink even dries on Friday. So we're not promising rates will fall immediately. What we are saying, though, is it's a little bit simpler. This deal removes one of the big things that pushed rates up all spring, and the pressure could ease from here if it continues to hold.
And the other forces still matter because they cut both ways. The Federal Reserve, the country's central bank, just met in the middle of June and held its key rate steady in a range of 3.5 to 3.75% instead of cutting. So the Fed still carries a whole lot of weight here. On top of that, rates bounce on the jobs and inflation reports that land every single month. A strong jobs report on June 5th actually nudged rates up a touch. So it's a real tug of war. The peace deals pull one way, the fresh data can pull the other, and nobody can hand you a guaranteed number.
So true, which brings all this home to North Dallas, because that's where we have worked for over 20 years. And we've watched this same pattern play out again and again and again. The moment rates ease even a little bit, the buyers who have been parked on the sideline come flooding back in. They come back fast as well. So when a wave of buyers returns all at once, you get more offers on the same house, more competition, and prices firm right back up. And that's the part that so many people miss, because a small dip in rates can quietly cost you more if you wait and then jump back in with the whole entire crowd.
Yes, and it happens almost overnight, honestly. The second rates tick down, the phones light up, and the buyer who prepared early is one standing first in line while everyone else is scrambling to catch up. That's why waiting for some perfect headline was never the smart move. The smart move is to get yourself ready right now before everyone else does. Get your loan pre-approval squared right away. Know your real budget and know your neighborhood's cold.
Yeah, and here's the thing that you want to know. When you're watching these rates, you want to get in as you're watching the movement of where the market's going, where the economy's going. Jump in now. Then when rates do cool or when they start lowering, you are already ahead of the game. You can simply refinance, recast your loan, and you're not sitting behind 20 other people overbidding on a house and end up spending a whole lot more. And this is clear across our entire area, from Flower Mound to Louisville to Plano to Frisco, which are some of the most sought after addresses in the entire country. Homes here move quickly the instant demand picks up, so being ready early is a bigger edge than trying to time the market to the day, which nobody actually can pull off. Sellers, this is good news on your side of the table as well. So if demand strengthens, you're likely to see more buyers and stronger offers. And builders feel that same lift, with new construction picking back up when buyers return.
So here's the takeaway. One of the big forces that pushed rates up all spring is easing as this deal signs. If it holds, and that's the good news worth paying attention to. But the real winners over the next few months won't be the people who guessed the bottom.
That's right.
They'll be the buyers who were fully prepared when it did move. And preparation is the one piece of all of this that you actually control.
100%, and that's where we come in. At GoalLine, we help buyers get completely ready before rates ease and the crowd comes back. Even if you just want to discuss the current market, but you already have a realtor, that's fine. We're still happy to help you. Or if you haven't actively been looking at homes, but you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. We are always happy to answer real estate questions. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.